Hi, my name is Dr. Ileocecal, and I'm excited to be here today. We're here at Triad of Health Family Sweet and Carb Craving Facility, helping you with information that's really valuable that can help you with sweet and carb cravings. We have Yvette here today helping us out.
Hello.
Thank you for helping us out. First of all, the most important thing to start with is to have a communication with the person's body. So there's 3 nutrients that we can check that come from Standard Process of Northern California, the oldest nutrition company in Northern California. So we can check the first one, ribonucleic acid, to see if it strengthens or weakens. This one weakens Yvette, so she does not need that for us to have a communication with her body. The next one's cataplex B12, we can check that, and that one weakens, so we don't need that to have a communication with her body. And then we can check carotid PMG, we don't need that to have a communication with the person's body. Now, let me assure you that Yvette has definitely had some sweet and carb cravings in the past. And we've provided Yvette with a bunch of therapies over the last 6 months or so, or less than 6 months, that have helped her to have far fewer sweet and carb cravings. So that's part of the reason that we're using Yvette as a model for this. Okay, the first thing that we're going to check is something called Ileocecal Valve. We're going to make a fist, and then we're going to put the fist there at McBurney's point where the Ileocecal Valve is, and take a strong indicator muscle and check that strong indicator muscle for weakening to see if it weakens. So it's a circuit that we're checking. The same way as with this light, if I turn it off and on, that's a circuit, and if the circuit's not working right, the light would be off, even if the electricity is coming to the building, even if these light bulbs are good, even if this circuit is working, that one over there on the wall might be out. We're going to check specific circuits that may or may not be functioning. So the first one is Ileocecal Valve. Are you resisting my pulling down? Okay. Okay, I don't know why, but Yvette's Ileocecal Valve isn't working quite right. It has something to do probably with something she's eating, something she's drinking, something maybe how often she's eating protein or how much protein she's eating, or it could have to do with maybe she eats some nuts or some seeds or some spicy foods, or she might drink a little bit of alcohol that's causing trouble, or a lot of alcohol. Maybe some potato chips, some other kind of seed or bean or rice or chocolate or something like that. Okay, so those would be good examples of things that could upset her Ileocecal Valve. It could be quinoa, it could be pistachios, it could be walnuts, it could be cashew nuts. It might be that she just loves tabbouleh, or she eats a little bit of couscous every now and then. I mean, it could be almost anything. Okay. But we would find out. We're just doing a demonstration right now. Now we'll go to the other side and check the valves of Houston. That one seems okay. And again, these are points that relate to parts of the digestive tract. And I have over 12 different videos that go over the Ileocecal Valve and the valves of Houston. The valves of Houston were actually named after a conference that took place in Houston, Texas about the valves. So it's kind of interesting in that regard. Now we're going to put 3 fingers here and check for blood sugar. Okay, so it looks like the blood sugar is a little bit off. That's a point that checks for blood sugar. And then we're going to pull some hair lightly here and check protein utilization. Okay, pull a point there. And it seems like she's using or utilizing protein properly. And the next thing that we'll check is something called rib torque. I'll put some fingers here, and all of these are directly related to sweet and carb cravings. And these are 7 things that we're going over regarding sweet and carb cravings that your healthcare provider doesn't want you to know about, because if you knew about these 7 things and how to address them, your healthcare provider would go out of business, because your blood sugar would be stable and you wouldn't need to go back and see him anymore, or her. So we're going to curve, rotate to the right, rotate to the left, kind of depends on which way you're facing as to which is right and which is left, and see if there's any trouble with rib torque. Okay, I'm checking rib torque. no trouble with rib torque. All right, go ahead and lie on your back and we'll check something called the psoas muscles. The psoas muscles are related to water or hydration. So the psoas muscles should turn in evenly. Hers are turning in evenly, so that's great. Okay, and push straight up into my hand here. Okay, that psoas muscle seems to be working pretty well. Meaning it's functioning. The muscle locks in place when I apply the force to it. Okay. Push up here again, real hard. Okay. Whoops, just relax for a second. Okay. You push straight up into my hand here, you bet. Okay, and that one is able to resist the force that I apply to it. The muscle fibers lock in place. So looks like her, she's properly hydrated. She's probably drinking enough water and enough of the right type of water often enough to be able to have good hydration. Another way you can check hydration is to pinch a little part of the back of the wrist, the back of the hand, and if the skin doesn't bounce back right away, then the person is severely dehydrated. I'm going to put a hand here on your body, and then I'm going to have you push your leg straight up into my hand here. Push, real hard, breathing. Okay, so those muscles give way. The bilateral hip flexors tested at once, and that's related to something called cardiac low back. Cardiac low back comes from total body modification. Total body modification is a technique that was developed by Dr. Viktor Frank here. Okay, so these things have everything to do with blood sugar. I even checked blood sugar. There's another way to check for blood sugar. Maybe we'll talk about that on our next video. So thanks very much for coming out.